Hey guys, Paul from Ashen Phoenix. It's new comic book day for the week of May 10th, and we're going to get started right now. We're back. Sorry, I almost died last week. So no stuff. But we're here now, and that's all that matters. New episode of Campfire Ashen is dropping this Friday on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, wherever you find your podcast. If you don't catch it this week, you can also catch older episodes on this channel next Friday and every other Friday after that.
All your Fridays.
Yeah.
Many Fridays.
There's Friday content dropping every single week from now until at least November. We have content already scheduled, so check it out.
Hey guys, it's Tim from Capes and Scowls, the comic book store. Paul and Tim do a thing, and Team Ashen. Yeah, Paul almost died, but don't worry, I'm fine. So we're all good. He laughed at that. That's good. That's all that matters. He's in better spirits now.
I didn't die.
He didn't die.
Important thing.
He didn't die. Let's talk about trades and not Paul's death. Let's talk about trades. We've got Savage Avengers Volume 2. Still going strong. Very weird story, but like oddly kind of satisfying. We've got from the Inkle, Dying Star. All these books look really, really cool. Really just bizarre sci-fi stuff. We've got from Lemire, I've got Mythos, Bone Orchard Mythos, 10,000 Black Feathers. I don't know which volume this is in this run, but he just keeps pumping them out. Namor the Submariner, Conquered Shores. This was a really cool mini. I've got Frankenstein, New World. This is from the Hellboy universe, so that's automatically a lot of fun. I got Alien, Icarus. This is volume 3 of Alien, so the end of the last run, because they just rebooted with a new number 1. And then finally, Lost Falls. I know nothing about this, but I was thumbing through it, and it looks really cool. Twin Peaks meets Lovecraft Country. Well, that makes sense. Well, there you go. This is awesome.
First up, we have Ghost Lore, issue number 1. This is a very creepy, weird book. You have a pastor and a disconnected family trying to deal with a struggling church, and things go really, really, really bad. And it's hard to kind of get this because it really does leave you with a ton of questions and not a ton of answers. But the family dynamic is very fleshed out here, and the general understanding of what is happening is here. I don't really want to spoil too much of it, but it focuses on the pastor and his daughter's struggling relationship, and a cataclysmic thing happens that is either going to pull them together or really drive them apart based on his faith and her lack of faith. So, if you like Colin Bunn, this is definitely more of the same. It's definitely interesting, weird, but yeah, check it out.
All right, comics. My first pick, and this was nearly my pick of the week, is Count Dante, the unauthorized but sort of true story of the deadliest man who ever lived, from Scout Comics. So Count Dante, if you remember the 70s comics, you would always get those ads of the guy in the kung fu pose, just like learn how to be a black dragon. It's about that guy. And it's his friend recounting how he met him and what happened in his life, starting from the Vietnam War and then coming out of that and trying to start a karate school in, I want to say, Chicago, New York, I don't know, one of these places, a city. And it's pretty fun. It's got some weird, you gotta question how much of this is true and how much is fabricated. They even say it in like the opening. They're like, it's pretty much true, but like, you know, we're writing a book and it's fun. There are fake ads in this that are designed to look like the Sea Monkey ad and like Get a Monkey and like all those old ads, Evil Knievel ad. They are awesome. They're worth really reading and picking apart. But it's basically the story of this guy's life, told in a humorous, fantastical way. It's got a little bit of violence, a little bit of humor, and I just want to believe the whole thing's true regardless, because that's way more fun than learning more about him. So, good story. Definitely will read more. I like it. It's got a cool Carrie Nord cover. I think everybody did a really good job on this book. I am pumped. It's just a love letter to that time. So, check it out.
Next up, we have Noctara, issue number 14. Man, this is getting weird. It's getting creepy. They found Eos, and things are not shaping up to be the way they're expecting to shape up. and you are dealing with a lot of these questions as to why they're here, how they're here, what comes next, and it's gearing up to be a pretty big fight between the convoy and the forces trying to keep them out of Eos, or to keep Eos from becoming a thing. Art is spectacular as usual. The storytelling is always compelling, and this is just crazy. You should definitely check it out.
All right, it's time for my pick of the week. Paul, do you know what my pick of the week is?
I have no idea.
It's something epic.
I have still no idea.
No, really, it's something epic.
Oh. Okay.
I set you up there.
You did.
From Simon Kodransky. I'm sure I butchered that. But they did the art and the writing in this one. And it's really cool. It's a very dark fantasy kind of story. And it's about a little boy who has a one-parent household. His mother is working 2 jobs all the time. And he's just kind of left alone with his imagination. And what you find out is he's kind of like, he's a good kid, but like he's doing bad in school. And he can see things that we can't see. So what we consider to be paranormal in this universe isn't actually paranormal. It is something that was created with imagination that exists on a parallel, this is really heavy, on a parallel universe kind of thing. And when you're younger, you can see it a little more because your brains are smaller and the electrodes are quicker. And you can perceive, it's a whole thing. I'm telling you, it's awesome though. The art is cool. There's all kinds of nods to different things from my youth anyways, like Ninja Gaiden is referenced in here. But there's like a vampire that lives in his attic that his mother can't see, but it terrifies him. She literally takes him up to be like, there's nothing up here. And there's a vampire standing in front of the flashlight just trying to eat him. It's so good. Very bizarre story. And it's just a wild idea, and there's so many different art styles that happen in here which make it even more exciting. This is worth checking out just to see what a wild ride it is. I hope the story continues and is very strong going forward, but so far I'm really digging it. I'm very curious to see what happens with this kid. It was kind of epic. I had a good time. Check it out.
And my pick of the week, it is Batman The White Knight Presents Generation Joker. This is following all of the White Knight stuff that has been going on. This whole universe has been amazing, and I'm really glad that they're continuing on. This is dealing with the Joker's kids, Harley's kids, and the Joker's AI that you've seen in other versions of the White Knight series, and him basically just trying to get an idea of seeing his kids and kind of getting to know his kids, so that way his kids kind of know who he is, because they've never really had a chance to meet before he was murdered 2 series ago during the Azrael saga. It was a really, really good show. This is a really, really good book, especially if you know the things. That you might be a little bit lost here if you have not been a big fan of this, but this does at least enough to kind of give you a general idea. But this does very much feel like a pickup rather than a brand new story. Moving on with the Harley stuff and the new Batman stuff, the Terry McGinnis stuff. But art is fantastic. Mirko Andolfo does a really great job, and just fun storytelling. I love this series. You should definitely check it out if you haven't already.
All right, guys, that is it for us. New Campfire Ashes this week. What, Friday, right?
Yep.
Fridays, all about Fridays, right? Yeah. So check that out. They're really fun. Hey, you know what? I listened to the one where you talked about the Krasu, and then I watched a movie about the Krasu.
Really?
It was really terrifying. It was from Thailand.
Yes.
Oh man, it was good.
Well, I got that from Dead Boy Detectives.
Dead Boy, see, look, it all comes full circle now.
That's where, I was just like, oh wow, is that real? And I would check, and I'm like, oh wait, it is.
It's a really cool legend. So he got some podcast material out of it. I'm going to later on, when it makes its way to Tapes and Scowls, I'll get some podcast content. Really fun, Paul. I had a good time. So yeah, listen to Campfire Ashes and learn about weird, spooky things that go boo in the night. And that's it. So I don't know. Go do something fun. What should they go do? Go outside? It's been nice mostly. Go outside and do what, Paul?
Go for a ride.
Go for a ride.
All 4 windows down, and then Campfire Ashes on Spotify.
That was really good. I saw what he did there.
Yeah, it was self-serving. completely. It sounded nice, and then it was completely self-serving.
Yeah, no, don't do any of that. But maybe go for a ride. That's a good idea. Just go for a ride. Yeah. Like around the block, like a tiny ride. I'm not asking for gas is expensive. Tiny ride. Go for a walk. No, go for a ride.